trying to make a dark red, deep purplish red. This white liquid you can see. Just use a pinch of dot of yellow to that. Let's see what color I'm getting. And here I've got a nice deep maroonish red. This color I'm going to use over here. These are the dark portions I'll add here. I have here, so I'll add it here. This is the darkest area of the flower here. And I want to add that. Now here, just actually again painting a rose. I had painted a rose few days back, but I didn't like the colors of that rose. I'm not very happy with the outcome. It looked very colorful. Wanted something which was not that colorful. So now here, this is another portion which is very dark. This is all dark portion. Actually these fabrical colors now they start drying up very fast. So what you have to do is you have to really be fast, otherwise they'll dry up. I've just added a medium over here. I've added this medium and I keep adding drops of the medium. Just taking more of bluish over here and and let this dry up a little. From one side, and then this is this color. See, I'm not digging in all the sides, I'm just taking from one side. And this is the light portion. This is the light petal, light side. So I'm using the same brush, but I'm digging from one side. I've added drops of and moving my brush upwards. Now I've not done the background because I wanted to have it white. Afterwards I'll be painting leaves. I hope this flower looks nice. Oh, by mistake the red is merged over here in this. I need to wash my brush because this is the just want to trying to merge it. Just trying to merge it. So just trying to just leave this as it is, and just trying to merge the light and dark. Here this merging the light and dark. This was starting to dry up, so it just started merging the color. I have to show this over here, also dark but a little different shade because I can't really see. Now I just this color has to be a little different from this because otherwise not people to understand. Just changing up this and this also. I'm just lighting up little. I want to tell the difference, so I'll just lighten up this. It's more towards the yellow, so I'll just take a little more magenta and I'll just add it here because this color I want a little different. Otherwise it'll look the same, though I don't want it to be very light, so it's a little light and dark. You have to show the contrast between the darks and lights. If you don't show the contrast, how will you differentiate from one petal and the other petal? So you just keep making variations in your petals, color variations, and this color variations you can do, which is like in this I added yellow, a little more yellow over here. The color which I had used for the base, in that I've just added a little more yellow. I've taken that color but a little more yellow I have added in that. So my color variation has come like this. This is another color. Now I'm mixing a little white with the red and I'm forming a lighter shade over here, and I'm going to, the petal is moving up, so I might move my brush in the direction. It will look like this. I'll keep my hand up and leave it like this, a little lighter shade, to show that the petal is bending here. So you have to be aware of where your petal is bending and which direction you have to move your brush in. See, this is also a bit lighter, so I have to move brush up like this. Now I am going to change my brush now and use a thinner brush because I want to show that here this petal is bending. This is the portion where the petal is curving, and this I have to show by taking a darker shade which I was using earlier and moving with my hand like this to show that here the bend is. This is the place where the petal has curved. Over here it has. Now this time I am changing my brush and moving it like this, up like this. I have to show that this petal is bending this side, moving this side. You have to be always aware the direction in which your petal is or your flower is moving. You have to be aware in which direction it is moving up. It's going up like this. I have changed my brush actually. This time I'm using another brush. Now with this brush I'll just take the color and I'm just going to get a little different darker shade. So just it has to be a little dark, not very dark. So this is the it has to move like this. Now a little yellow I'll mix into this red, a little yellow, this portion. And see, I've just mixed yellow, a little yellow. Like this. So this is a rose which I am making, and if you're there with me, just trying to show the darkest portions. See, I had earlier painted and I didn't like the outcome, so I'm just trying to paint another rose. Please keep spraying your paints, because if you don't spray them and you don't keep adding the medium, then your colors will dry up. And don't take out too much of the paint. If you take out too much of the paint, then what happens? See, there's a film which forms on the paints, so you should avoid this. See this, there's a petal here, and this is bending over here, so I'm just trying to make this curve. This petal is there. And now this portion is a little darker over here. My colors are drying up. See, the problem is that if you mix too much of the paints, they dry up, and then painting is not easy. What happens, you have to be very fast with your color. You have to be fast with the movement of your brush. And I have to add a medium here. This is purple color which I have got here, and if I use this, I have to remove the extra medium which gets to my brush, because if I use that extra medium, it will start smudging. So I have to be very careful that I am not smudging up the colors. Whereas when I paint on the walls now, I don't really bother, because all those colors are water based and they don't merge. Now here I have a color, cover up the dark color. I just wanted to merge like this. I wanted to merge. This is the dark portion. I wanted to merge. Side also, it's a little darker here also. I wanted to smudge. This portion I have to come back and do it again. See, because it's not blending properly. I'm not able to get there on time, and see, because if I take time to switch my brush and wash my brush, then I'm not able to blend the color very nicely. So this blending is important. Here this, I was not able to blend it. I think it's alright. I'll come back later and do the blending again. Now if you pull the paint from one side like this, so it helps, it prevents from drying, otherwise the colors tends to dry up very fast and you have to move your hands very fast. Actually, the paints really need to behave themselves. They don't behave themselves. That is, they dry up so fast, and this is so irritating. You mix the colors and then 2 minutes. Yeah, drying up. I prefer wall painting to fabric painting anytime. Anytime I prefer it. See, because you know, and you have to move your hands also very fast. You really need to be very quick. See, it's moving up, and I'm just, this petal is coming down, so you have to be very careful where your petal is. See, you have petal is moving, the direction in which your petal is, you have to be very careful about that. This is the direction in which your petal is moving, so you have to, this is there. Now this, I'll take a thinner brush, and with this brush, this one, and I'm going to make this corner here. This is a little dark, which I have to show. This is a little dark. I hadn't done it earlier because I wanted to the color to dry, otherwise it would have smudged, and I want it really very thin over here to show the shadows. Now here also little this dark color. I'll just little color here. I'm just trying to, and then because actually blending also takes time, and when you are switching brush and blending, in that time the paint dries up. So always take out little paints. Do not take out much paints at a time, and if you take out more, it becomes very difficult because you just have to keep taking out paints. So I'm just doing a little dark colors here, dark magenta and a little mixture of red, and just this is my darkest colors here which I'm using. I'm just taking this red, and this is a shade of magenta which I'm using on top of that to make that dark a little light. Now I'm just going to change the brush and use poppy red. So here I'll just try to be fast because I really need to merge the colors. Yes. magenta and a little mixture of red and just this is my darkest colors here which I'm using. I'm just taking this red and this is a shade of magenta which I'm using on top of that to make that dark a little light. Now I'm just going to change the brush and use poppy red. So here I just try to be fast because I really need to merge the colors. Now these portions have to be light. And here this is the petal which is moving up. With brush of paint over here, I just mix it up and so this is the petal which is coming up. I need paint. I think this paint is finishing up. So this petal is moving up. I'm using thick paint. See, here this side is little darker over here. So this petal I will change brush and add a little white, and over here I'll make this a little lighter. So it's going up like this, so it is lighter. And here strokes are moving up. All the strokes are going up. Here I want to cover this some of the darker color here. This bit from here, because I don't want very light color deep down here where the so I can just adding a little this side, so this goes up like this, and now this blue has become very dark, so I have to add some color to make it little light. That dark. Just now make it a little more lighter. When I come over it, I'm going to use magenta only. So brush like this down, and the blending is important. You have to be very careful with your blending. Dark color and light color. Here it is the darkest portion will be dark. If you feel your petal is not looking correct, you can always come back to the petal and change the shape. You don't have to bother if some petal is looking not looking bright, or it's looking, the shape is not correct. So you can actually come back to that petal. See, like I found that this petal which I was making, I didn't like it. So I just came back to this petal over here and I started. So it's it here. Now this, I want this petal to be a little lighter this side. So what happen? I'll just grab a little white and then I'll just keep putting white here. I feel it should be a little light, so I'll just grab white and I'll just put it here on top of this. Maybe a pinch of pink, and on top of that I'll put a little pink. So actually changing brushes also wastes a lot of time because you have to keep changing your brushes. You can't use the same brush. If you use the same brush, the color doesn't come out well. So you have to keep changing your brushes. When I finish now, I'll add a highlight color. And if you feel the outcome is not good, you can always keep coating or putting the color on top of that. Suddenly the weather of Lucknow has become so cold. Not so cold, and suddenly it's become hot. Yesterday we had to turn on the fans because we couldn't sit. It was really very hot. In February it's never so hot in Lucknow. Never. Lucknow is a very nice place. And we have a nice climate all the year round. But the climate has changed completely. These acrylic paints, they dry up very fast and they become hard like plastic. Using red. जी मम्मी क्या कह रही हैं? मम्मी मीरा ने ऑनलाइन मंगाया है क्योंकि फिर कोई वीडियो बनाने के लिए तैयार ही नहीं था. सब लोग इतना बिजी रहते, किसी के पास टाइम ही नहीं. सो काम आपको मंगा देते हैं. बट इट इज़ नाइस. ये जो है ना, ये इट्स नाइस, ये अच्छा है. ये स्टैंड ना, इसमें ईज़िली यू कैन पुट योर मोबाइल. ऐसे करके मोबाइल लगा दिया है अपना, और फिर लाइट भी फोकस होती रहती है उस पर. जी मैं तो मोबाइल ही तो यूज़ कर रहे हैं फ़ोटो लेने के लिए. जी मोबाइल लगा है, ये स्टैंड है और उसमें आराम से वीडियो बन रहा है. नहीं 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 नहीं, ये वीडियो जो है, वीडियो भी बन रहा है. कुछ नहीं, अभी देखिए ना पर्पल यूज़ करा है, बन गया, ये एक पेटल बनने वाली है जी। अच्छा लगता है। Now here this petal is bending over here, so I want a very dark shade, and this dark shade I formed by mixing magenta with a pinch of black. A little black I have added to magenta, and here I have made this dark. It's a violet dark shade. And we are using a deep red color, and I try to merge this. I put on the brush two colors, red and a little purple also. This is a simple magenta which I am using. Now in this magenta I grab a little white. Now I'm just trying to outline it with a dark purple which I formed by mixing red with blue. This outline. And this thing is going on here like this. The shade should be maroon, not oh, it's become blue. Maroon I have mixed red. And I mixed red with black. Speaking suddenly, what happened? Question, I'm lightening up a bit. I'm just taking white and now this is the biggest petal of the flower. Now I have changed the direction of my cloth and I am going to put a little darker red here. Now grab a little red and this portion also. Little darker shade and try to merge it up. Adding with poppy red, white and putting it here, this side, which I had left earlier. I wanted the paint to dry up. Now I've mixed orange with a little red, blue, and mix with this orange. You just take a little darker color and move towards the, like this, my brush. The water here. Yeah. Now take this dark red here. It's red. Just take small portions of the color and just mix them, because if you take bigger portions, the color dries up very fast. So I'm just starting with light pink here. Then I'll come back with the darker shade. Here I'm using poppy red. I want really dark color here, so I've mixed a little blue. This is red and magenta, which I'm using here. I'm using it here. Now go to the center, the darkest portion here. This is the center, and I have mixed blue. I need to highlight my petals a little. This here it's coming here. Till here it is coming. Take a lighter shade and put this down here. This also down here. I've taken a lighter shade, just trying to define where one petal is ending and where the other one is starting. Now here this petal is sitting here. This is the starting point. Just trying to evolve the petals, required shape. where one petal ends. I think I'm done.